Tonight, we crown a champion here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Live on JCTV. This is the InThePitsNews Truck Series. I'm joined in the booth with me by Adam Kuhn. How you doing, Adam?
Pretty good tonight, Josh. Excited to be here with you to call this championship race. Been here almost all season now, and it's been pretty exciting 12 races, and we're finally ready to wrap it all up here tonight at Homestead.
And I'm telling you, this is going to be a great battle between Chocano and Caldwell for the championship. But before we get into that, we got to talk about last week. Last week was at the Milwaukee Mile. It was a very crazy race. Alonzo Chocano absolutely dominated, but Alonzo did not come out as a winner. Late in the race, Chocano, Caldwell, they were battling each other. Chocano as the leader, Caldwell to stay on the lead lap. And Caldwell, he held up Chocano, trying everything he could to allow Kyle Reuter to catch up. Reuter did catch up to them, and then it became a battle. Caldwell got loose, took them both out. After the race was over, Caldwell received a penalty, points penalty, and he was also put as the last truck in the field. So the difference in points is 6 between them two. And Kyle Reuter actually ended up winning the race. So he went back-to-back after winning at Indianapolis Raceway Park the week before that, and then winning at the Milwaukee Mile.
Yeah, pretty controversial circumstances a week ago. Obviously not the way either one of the championship contenders intended on going, and big penalty, like you mentioned, that applied to Cam, and that was kind of necessary considering what we saw on track a week ago.
Well, let's talk to last week's race winner, Kyle Reuter. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Doing pretty good. Looking forward to seeing a great battle tonight. But, kind of want to talk about last week. You've won 2 in a row. Both races did not go the way you wanted it to go as far as in terms of winning, but you still have 2 wins. What's the plan here? How's it gonna go down at Homestead, get you in victory lane the way you want it to go?
Well, I'm definitely not planning on getting in victory lane. I'd love to, but this is definitely not a track that I'm used to. I've turned maybe a total of 20 laps here so far, but just gonna ride around and just have a little fun tonight and watch the battle for the points between Alonso and Cam.
Well, you said you don't have very many laps here at the track, but based off the fact that you have won the last 2 races, is that going to bring momentum into this race to, try to get a top 5? Maybe push for something better, get the win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's why we show up to. It's to win and put a good finish up. But like I said, I don't have many laps here. Gonna give it my best for sure. Just not expecting. Won't be disappointed if I don't do well, but if I do, wonderful.
All right. Well, we'll let you get back up in there, get some more practice laps in, and maybe we'll talk to you later tonight.
Thanks, guys.
That was Kyle Reuter, who has won the last 2 races.
With those last couple of pretty decent good weeks for Kyle, he's moved up to 3rd in the points, so could be a very good night for him if he finishes there in the standings.
Well, it's about time to start talking about those 2 championship favorites tonight, Adam. You don't want to go through, talk about, Chocano, his season. He started off the season pretty strong, winning at Daytona, leading 49 laps of that race. And yeah, he's stayed consistent overall over the course of the season. Obviously not getting 3 wins like Caldwell, but he did pick up another win later on in the season at New Hampshire, I believe it was. He actually has 4 top 5 finishes, so if Chocano and Caldwell actually tie in points, it is very possible. And assuming Alonso wins, they'll be tied with wins. So the next would be on top 5s, and it would go to Alonso Chocano because of most top 5s. And that's crazy to think about because of the fact that Caldwell started off the season finishing the top 3 so many races in a row.
Yeah, Alonso's just been more consistent on finishing races and just trying to minimize the points, and he's done a really good job all year. He hasn't been able to get as many as he wanted in the last couple of weeks, but he's, especially with what happened last week, he's steadily brought down that point cap.
Let's go ahead and bring in the driver in second place in the point standings. Alonso Chicano, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Got you guys.
All right, Alonso. The points gap got a lot closer after last week, after points penalty to Caldwell within 6 points. What's it going to take tonight to get the championship?
Well, it's gonna take us not to get wrecked from the lead again. Just kind of really sucks. Both in Talladega and last race, to be wrecked from the lead is just really bad luck. So we can't have that happen again today. I don't know if we're the fastest driver here in this track. I think Caldwell seems to be really fast, and I haven't really figured everything out just yet. I expect to learn a lot more during the course of the race. So as long as I have my eyes on him, then I expect it to be a interesting finish, to say the least.
All right, I'm curious to know. It's white flag. Caldwell has the lead. You're right behind him. You both been driving the same line for a few laps. Coming off turn 4, what are you gonna do to get around him?
Well, I don't consider myself a dirty driver. I know he's really not one either. But um, it took me a little while to get over last week, and all things considered, I don't say I wouldn't dump him flat out for the win, but if you think I'm not going to move him, then you're silly. But my goal is not to wreck him. I want to win this thing fair and straight. It sucks that I had to rely on a penalty last week, but it is what it is. Our cards have been dealt, and now all we can do is just go out there and try to win again.
All right, we'll let you get back up in there, get settled in, relaxed, and go out there for 200 miles.
All right, thank you very much.
That was Alonso Chicano, driver 25. See him out there on track, battling for a championship. Points leader, Cameron Caldwell. He backed up, he answered Alonso Chicano's win at Daytona with a Caldwell taking the win at Auto Club. And Caldwell, a lot of people did not think he was going to win that race after him and Chicano actually got into an incident that seemed like it took Caldwell out of it. Caldwell, he stayed in it, and he ended up winning the race. He won later on in the season at Michigan, or rather Watkins Glen and Michigan, to get his 3 wins, swept the 2-mile tracks, and actually when he won at Watkins Glen, it was the week after Chicano got his 2nd win of the season. So Caldwell answered that with a win. Right back. Let's go ahead and bring in points leader Cameron Caldwell. Cameron, you got a copy?
I do.
What's it going to take tonight to get that 12 truck in championship victory lane?
Well, I think the simplest answer is just win the race. But, that doesn't always happen, so just got to be ahead of Alonso. And if not, then got to be close behind him. I hope he doesn't win. But going for the win for sure. But if not, then we'll look for bigger picture and just try to do our best.
I asked Alonso the same question. I'm going to ask you here, just different scenario. Alonso has the lead. You're in 2nd place. You're not good on points as far as bonus points. Alonso is. 2 are running 1-2. It's white flag. Both been running the same line, coming off turn 4. What's your move to make a championship-winning move?
It's tough. The track is really slick. I kind of feel like it's going to tighten up towards the end, but I'm not really sure. So it really just kind of depends on what line we're running. If we're on the bottom, it'll be a lot easier, moving up the track if I need to. But if we're in the top, then I can send it in if I need to. But it just really depends, honestly. I'm not going to wreck him, but I'm not pulling over for him either. So just wait and see.
All right. Well, we'll let you get back up there and get settled in, relaxed, and go out and fight for a championship.
All right. Thanks, guys.
And that is the driver of the 12, Cameron Caldwell. Well, Adam, we know who our 2 drivers are to watch out for a championship, but there's 16 trucks on track. Anybody can win this race. It doesn't have to be Caldwell. It doesn't have to be Chicano. Any of the 14 drivers that are not Caldwell and Chicano still have a say in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be anyone's race to win. It doesn't have to just be between those 2, like you mentioned. And we see a lot of fast trucks on practice that aren't those 2. So, and we've seen that all season long. Just the other competition just getting intermingled between Caldwell and Chicano, and that could be a huge development in terms of points positions later in the closing laps of this race. And if they're fighting for the title, would it be in the way of fighting for the win? So it could be a very dynamic situation tonight here.
And to go on your what you said, each position is a point. So even if Caldwell and Chicano are not, first or in second, if they're 3rd and 7th, each position is still a point. So the driver in 7th, if it's Chicano, he needs to really work his way up there and actually pass Caldwell. But if Caldwell, say the driver in 7th, in the scenario I'm using here, depending on the way the bonus points are going to work, will determine whether or not, he is still eligible to get the championship. Tonight, the way the bonus points work, and this is all season, not just tonight, the pole award winner, they will get a point for winning the pole. Fastest lap gets a point. Lead a lap, that's a point. Lead the most laps is a point. The only thing that is not 1 point tonight is actually the difference between first and second. If you finish first, that is 5 points more than second place. So if Chocano wins and Caldwell finishes second, assuming Caldwell does not have any bonus points, the 1 point for just leading a lap, because you have to lead a lap to win, at least the last lap, that's 1 point, plus the 5 points difference between first and second. That ties them right there, and as we already mentioned, Chocano gets the championship because of more top fives.
All I know is it's just going to be a lot of math. Right, Josh?
There will be a lot of math involved tonight, and for you folks at home, you don't have to worry about using calculators or pen and paper, pencil and paper, whatever you use. We'll have that covered for you all night tonight here in the 200-mile event. So, no need to try to figure that out on your own. We got it covered up here in the JCTV booth. A little over 11 minutes until qualifying starts. We have some time to interview let's bring in Dalton Kelly. Hey Dalton, it's Josh in the JCTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes.
How you doing tonight?
Doing great after a long day of repairing things.
That's good to hear. Well, currently you're third in the practice speeds. Did see that you had the fastest time in practice for a little while, but the battle for the championship is on tonight. Of course, you're not a part of it, but is that going to change the way you race around Caldwell and Chocano, knowing that they have some more of a bigger picture than what you have, where you can go for a win, they're going for a championship?
Yeah, unless it's for the win, I'll probably give them plenty of room. But if I think I got a chance to win, I'm going to try to race them as hard as I can without wrecking them.
All right, well, we'll let you get back up talking with your teammates, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That was Dalton Kelly, driver of the 45 truck. Practicing going on right now. You got Cameron Caldwell and Alonzo Chocano running nose to tail, and you look at the practice speeds. Chocano is down in 9th, Caldwell is down in 1st. One thing to kind of remember here is the draft does come into play, so they get into each other right there, and a little bit more contact. So, just kind of looking at the practice speeds here, just because Chocano is in 9th does not mean that that's kind of how his race is going to go. He'll be a middle pack driver. Caldwell will be up there, throughout the whole entire races. Actually, now we have somebody else that just took over the top spot. draft does come into big factor here for times for practice, race time. Of course, qualifying is single truck rather. So your qualifying time will just be based off what you do. No draft comes into play at all. And we'll see where they're able to start in comparison to each other from there. Bring in another driver for an interview. Dawson Allen, it's Josh Chocano on the JCT. You got a copy?
I got you loud and clear.
All right, Dawson, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Still trying to work out the kinks on running this thing. Having a little bit of fun in practice and just kind of getting ready for the race.
Looks like you just got real loose off turn 4.
Just a little bit.
I've been noticing, a lot tonight. Just kind of watching practice on this pre-show that track is very loose. Looks like track temp is 82 degrees. So, how challenging is it going to be out there once you guys get into race conditions to have 16 trucks out there for 134 laps?
Oh, it'll definitely be a challenge because everybody's going to want to, some people are going to want to take it easy. Like, I'm going to try to take it easy early on in this race, and we might have some trying to push to the field here early on. So you're going to have a lot of guys that are kind of all fighting for the same spots, and you're going to see a lot of guys possibly pushing too hard, pushing too far, and causing a decent stack up in the field.
Knowing that there's 2 drivers that have a chance to win a championship tonight, 12 and 25, are you going to be, racing around them any differently than you would with anybody else, or
I've dumped Alonso before, so I don't feel too bad if it happens again. But I plan on racing them nice and clean, letting them battle for the championship the way they fought all year to do it.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you get back up in there with your teammates. We'll talk to you a little bit later.
All right, thank you.
That was Dawson Allen, driver of the 79. Adam, just under 5 minutes left till qualifying.
Yeah, we see a lot of action on track right now. Everyone trying to get a real feel of race traffic. We haven't seen a lot of practice tonight, just so long, and we see a lot of traffic right now, and see a lot of people sliding around, like I mentioned with that interview with Dawson now.
Behind Dawson Allen there. You'll see a lot of different lines throughout the course of the race. Some drivers will be using the bottom, some will be using the top. You can really go anywhere around this track. We have, we have another person going to be joining us in the broadcast booth. Somebody that actually has been in the booth with me earlier, a couple races ago, actually. Nick Fornick. How you doing, Nick?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing pretty good. So we're here. Got just over 3 minutes until we see qualifying and see where these drivers are going to start. You have been racing with these guys throughout the season. We come to a track like Homestead. I was just kind of talking about the different lines of the track. What do you think is going to be the preferred lane to get around here?
You know, honestly, as at the beginning of the run starts, I feel like the inside line will have its presence for sure. But the longer the race goes on, the more I'm going to see these guys sneak up towards that high line, running right towards the wall. Kind of similar to how Auto Club is in order to get those long green flag run stints out on them tires.
All right, just under 2.5 minutes. Who is your pick to win, Adam?
I'll kind of go out a little bit further, but he is inside the top 5 in the championship, and he's been there most of the season. Pretty decent lap practice right now. I'll go with the 77 of Clarence Stone. Let's see if he can turn his season around here in the last race. He's been pretty solid, but a couple rough goes the last few weeks, but we'll see what he can do tonight. Hopefully it's pretty send-off for him this season.
All right, Nick, who's getting it done tonight?
You know, I feel like one of the two championship contenders should be, in true championship form, should be winning the race tonight. I'm going to say it's going to go to the man who won the opener, Alonso Chocano.
It's a great pick. I'm going to go with Dalton Kelly. I think Dalton Kelly is going to be able to get it done tonight. And, he's sitting 5th in practice speeds right now. So I think Dalton Kelly has a real good shot.
Definitely a smooth pick for sure. I've been waiting for him to finally get up and break through and get his first win in the InThePitsNews Truck Series to get that going. So I wouldn't be surprised if tonight is finally the night.
All right, for those of you watching at home, we are having just a little bit of technical difficulties. That's the reason you're just seeing the Truck Series logo, but we'll have it back up just before qualifying in 20 seconds.
It really is a beautiful logo, though.
It is, and unplanned sponsor shout out, but C2 Graphics, they've done a lot for JCTV and for the InThePitsNews Truck Series. They're the ones that made the logo that you see, made a lot of the logos that you'll see all tonight, and a lot of paint schemes as well, that you'll see tonight. All right.
Yes, absolutely.
Checkered flag is up on practice. So we come here to qualifying, and it looks like Clarence Feldner, 77, is first one out on track.
Clarence, of course, a regular being in the season, currently top 5 in points. Has a chance for 4th and even 3rd if the night goes well for him tonight. So any sort of qualifying bonus that he can obtain would be good first starts.
See him running middle lane kind of throughout the turn through 1 and 2. Take a look here at Alonso Chicano, championship driver, who is all the way up against the line running the older people would say Harry Gant groove, newer drivers or newer fans would say the Kyle Larson line. Chicano, he's up there, not quite as high through 3 and 4. See where this takes him. On the board, off turn 4 for his first lap. Chicano with a 33.81.
Well, Alexander Coffin had a great lap going, and he just slid the wheels off turn 4 and caught the outside wall, so he's going to have to keep his lap. He's only second on the board.
Chicano improves his time with a 33.45. Put him in second. So we know where one of our what time one of our two championship drivers will have so far in second.
Well, if you look at that, last week's winner, two-time winner this season, Kyle Reuter putting down a mean lap of 33.2.
Kyle Reuter so far with the JCTV pole award. So there, Carl Felver crossing the line. And now, coming out of pit road is points leader Cameron Caldwell.
A friendly reminder, there is the pole award for the end of the season. They're still fighting for. It looks like we haven't had a repeat since Tom Bourne, not here tonight, does secure the award with his 3 earlier in the season. The best that anyone else could do in the field tonight would be 2.
So Tom Bourne is set to take those 3 holes home this season. Ride.
Jason Josh, sorry. He leapfrogged to the top of the charts. He used the bottom to out his qualifying lap to get to the top spot over Kyle Riley.
Right on board with Cameron Caldwell running the top lane.
It looks like it's like a 3rd lane for Say. He's not going right to the wall. I feel like he's maybe giving it a little bit safer than he needs to, but it's what you got to do when you're in that championship hunt. As long as you qualify ahead of your teammate, that's all that matters. But he's going to have a little bit of a depth to go as he's currently a 10th off Alonso.
And 8 seconds remaining. Currently 8th place. It'll be very close if he's able to cross the line. I don't think he's going to make it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make it.
Seconds, so he doesn't get it.
That's going to be very disappointing.
So Jason Gracias is JCTV Pole Award winner. Alonso Chicano will start 3rd, and Cameron Caldwell will start 8th place. I have a special announcement to make tonight. And we are now currently going to reveal the next season schedule. And right there it is. March 19th will be Daytona. And follow that up at Charlotte. And I'll just go down the list. Introducing a playoff for a chase. We'll see a little bit more of that later on. Kind of the rules, but there's a schedule. Long-awaited schedule. Drivers haven't even seen this yet. So you guys get to see it before the drivers, unless the drivers are watching while they're gridding up here. So I'll tell you what, the one I'm looking forward to the most is the Charlotte Roval. June 11th, 66 laps. I've come to really, really like that track. And I think these guys are going to put on a great show there.
I believe that's going to be very chaotic with the trucks going over the totals there. And like you mentioned, the playoffs, and the season's expanding up to 6 races more, so 12 race season up to 18, so very exciting.
And it will be
Yeah, but
Go ahead.
it'll definitely keep the racers enticed to be showing up all season long to try and get those playoff spots near the end of the season.
Definitely be very exciting to see that schedule play out. I'm looking forward to it. I think the admins put together a great schedule for next season. This season the schedule was great as well, but I think next season it has more races, as you mentioned, Adam. I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty stacked schedule. All right, here we go. Pace truck rather, makes that hard left turn. And green flag is out. Great start by Alonso Chocano. He rolled right up to the back bumper of Jason Gracias.
And he's going to clear him right on the outside, going out of 2. It's going to put him in a great position on backstretch. We're going 3 wide in the back with Dalton Kelly, Brett Bennett, and Cameron Caldwell. She's coming out of 4. They're getting a little squirrely. Bennett trying to hold the middle, make sure he doesn't get up to his teammate, but also not get into the championship runner.
And Caldwell doing a great job on the bottom there. Still side by side with Dalton Kelly.
It's definitely impressive to see him run the low line right now. Maybe he sparked something out of qualifying. Maybe he saw a hint or two that maybe the low line will be strong in the beginning start of the race. Hopefully try to advance some positions to catch his teammate.
Right now, a 3-point gap between Chocano and Caldwell. If the race were to finish just like this, Caldwell would have the championship locked up. Still, 132 laps to go. Obviously, this race just started, but Caldwell, he can see Chocano just in front of these trucks ahead.
Yep, definitely not a safe buffer by any means for those two. Any one of them that can smell blood will definitely try to catch up to each other, and so they can run and be as predictable as possible.
Yeah, and for these guys, it was a pretty calm start, as calm as it could be. No caution in the back of the pack, and the front 7 or so trucks kind of broke away from most of you, and they were in their own lead with 5 lost in.
While the 3-wide action has turned down just a little bit, some drivers still opting to go 2 wide, trying to gain those little bit positions before they settle into their long runs.
And Caldwell, he was just able to make it around Kyle Reuters, putting Caldwell in the 5th spot for Chocano. Chocano is right behind race leader Jason Gracias. And I'm Chocano, I'm looking at that relative and I'm thinking, man, it's go time early on. We know, we talked about it the last few weeks, gloves have been off. Well, I think after last week, gloves really are off and they're not even anywhere in sight.
Yep, they're just bare knuckling it out there.
Chocano to the inside. He's going to try and lead every lap from here on out, and he's going to clear Jason Gracias underneath, but Gracias has the run through the exit here.
They're going to be side by side off the exit of turn 4. It's going to be close, and it looks like Chocano did lead that lap, so now 1 bonus point for Chocano. Right here, Chocano would be champion. The way this thing is going right now, if it would finish just like this, but not for long, as Gracias looks to the bottom of turn 4. They'll be side by side once again down the front stretch. Gracias had to tuck in.
Yeah, it seems in the corners that they'll fan out into either the really high or really low line, and then when they come out the straight, they're right back in tow with the nose to tail, trying to get as much draft, pulling away for the most part. 6th place or 7th place onward, starting to fade back about 7/10 from this main pack of 6.
And these front 6 are also close together, 2 by 2, top 4 really. See Alexander Kofan battling there with Kyle Musso.
David Duran in the wall, and they're spinning on the back foot straight.
Matthew Rodriguez hard in the inside wall.
See there, Matthew Rodriguez, tons of damage. Caution is out. Let's look back at the replay.
Yeah, coming off of 4, David just started scraping the wall, lost his momentum, came off the wall, and unfortunately, Matthew Rodriguez was just the unfortunate bystander in that collision, that collect-up.
Yeah, Caleb McCurry had nowhere to go. He had to jump out of the throttle, and it just took the 24 truck into Rodriguez, and he went for a ride after tagging that inside wall.
What a hard leg.
All right. Pit road is open. And... oh, they all...
Everyone faked it.
Faked it. I thought they were actually going to come down.
Carl felt the first one to peel down.
David Duran right behind him, assuming he'd be taking those damage repairs that he got.
Yeah, his truck looks beat up in the back and on the right rear.
Pretty decent amount of trucks on pit road.
Yeah, it looks like 10th place back all decided to go with Felver. It'll definitely split up the strategy starting out.
Alrighty, well, we already saw next season's schedule. Let's take a look at next season's rules. So it is going to be a chase. It's not going to be a playoffs. 8 drivers are going to make the Season 2 chase. Top 6 at points at the end of the regular season will lock in, and 2 wild cards will fill in the remaining 2 spots. 2 winners who are 7th through 14th in points will take the wild card spots, but if there are not 2 winners in that range, 7th and or 8th in points will take the remaining chase spots. Wins do not lock you into the chase, but we'll give bonus points at the start of the chase. Points will reset prior to the remaining 4 races. Whoever has most points out of the chase drivers will be the champion. See there, Bristol, Phoenix, Martinsville, and Kansas are the chase races. Chase drivers will have InThePitsNews orange trim on their trucks. There's going to be stages and a couple of other rules. We'll look back at that a little later on. We are 1 to green. They did already choose. We missed the choose.
Yeah, we just saw the first choose of the night. No major changes. Everyone pretty much just chose the line they would have been in traditionally. Up front, that is. Some of the guys who pitted kind of wanted the bottom lane. So we have a lot of unorganized up at the top that has all with the choose cone, but everyone up at the front playing nice so far.
Yeah, with it only being 12 laps into this thing, I was expecting pretty conservative choose lanes. No one really going to be gambling this early on.
Ace truck is in. Alonso Chocano will be the control truck. Green flag is out. And they're back green. And already 3 wide in the back. Those fresh tires of Carl Felver are already playing key. He's back there. Clarence Feldner, he got loose. Back up front, though. Alonso Chocano, he's now having to hold off. Hungry pack of drivers.
Definitely, there's a chance of Carl Felver might have actually jumped it a little bit. Just looking back, he looks like he was in the middle lane before the start-finish line. They're going to review that later on at the end of the race.
See here, driver making his series debut, Noah Mayuri, right on the bottom. And
Yeah, he was
pretty
quite
fast
quick.
all night. Yeah.
he's showing right there, like, hey, I don't know. I don't know you guys. I'm going to race you clean, but I want the lead here. So just kind of excuse me. Exactly what Eddie Truck is doing. He's really holding on pretty well on the bottom.
Yeah, he's definitely the biggest wild card to any of the front runners, and as well as Alonso and Cameron in regards to their championship hopes. And not knowing true experience of the guy and knowing what kind of racer he is, it'll be a little bit harder to feel him out, especially when tensions are high.
It's been kind of a theme this season where we see debut drivers kind of shake up the race dynamic and be able to dominate, and here we go. He's clear to the lead though, so let's see what Alonso can do here now that he's on the back tailgate. They're going to change lines here into turn 1. Alonso's going to keep using the wall.
You know, I think Alonso actually may have gotten a little bit loose off the exit of 4, which allowed the 8 to actually clear the 25 a lot better. Chocano is hanging on, though, still second place. Caldwell is 4th, though. Gap is 3 points now, with Chocano having those laps led.
Slowly closes.
Kerfan, Caldwell, side by side. Kerfan, he's not using that wall like we see Chocano using. And that was a tight squeeze there for Caldwell. Get in front of Kerfan.
Yep, he's going to start looking for anything to catch up to his teammate Chocano as he falls back behind Jesus Gracias into 3rd place.
See Chocano just ahead there. He was kind of looking underneath Gracias. Gracias went low to block.
In this current situation, this is perfect for Cameron. He can see his competition right in front of him. He knows that sitting right behind him right now would ensure him the championship. To be in front of him would be nice, but to be just right behind him with that little bit of points cushion may be the best spot for him.
And this is the first time we've seen this nose to tail since the accident 1 week ago at Milwaukee, so we'll see how these two race each other if Cam can get to the back bumper of Alonso here.
right now we're seeing the bottom really be the preferred lane. The only driver that we've seen actually up there at the wall is Alonso Chocano. And I think he's just trying to get it ready for later in the race. It's Chocano. I think right now this track it's going to move up. And Chocano, he's using this experience early to learn for later in the race.
Yeah, like you mentioned in the pre-race, you know, he's definitely looking for all the lines for sure. He wants to try and learn the track as the race goes on. It's just something that he's been really good at. He's able to hone in and adjust on the fly to run up front consistently, no matter what situation he has. Battered car, clean car, he'll find a way to try and stay up in that top group. It appears Dalton Kelly has jumped up as the 7th car in that main group. Brett Bennett's teammate falling just behind in 8th. It looks like Dalton might have something for these boys.
Going back to those pit stops we saw on the only caution flag so far today, none of those guys on the fresh tires have been able to make huge inroads since we've gone back underway. So we'll see how that kind of plays out here as we get longer into this run.
No, instead it looks like they've been battling it out for 8th place as Justin Durant just passes Brett Bennett for 8th place, starting to hunt down Dalton Kelly.
Got a battle for 4th place. Kyle Reuter, he's closed in on the back of Cameron Caldwell. They were side by side down the backstretch. Cameron Caldwell ultimately was able to get the advantage going into 3, but Kyle Reuter, he is strong and he is hunting down that 12 truck.
Yep, he could be the first driver to not only win 2 races, but maybe even 3 races as he makes a pass on Cameron ever so slightly for 4th place.
I think Reuter will clear him, if not now, then in turn 3, but he does clear him. Now Reuter has his sights set on Chocano.
One thing about Reuter this season, he's also been quite the front runner. Believe, if I'm not mistaken, he might have started. No, he didn't. Just had a bad race at Daytona. Which is about the only downside he's had all season. He's either been in the top 7 or better. Of course, these last 2 races being his best finishes yet. I definitely see him as a threat if he continues to come along with the InThePitsNews Truck Series for Season 2. I definitely consider him a playoff racer for sure.
And I think Reuter is the kind of driver that not only will he get in the playoffs, but he will also, be there at the end, come the final race time. I believe it was Kansas we saw as the series finale. So right now we're seeing here Kansas and Homestead. They are both 1.5 mile tracks, different in shape, but they kind of both have the same characteristics as top lane tracks. We see here, side by side is Reuter and Chocano. Chocano still all the way up in that wall. Right next to it. And Reuter, he was all the way right next to the white line.
They're definitely starting to battle a little bit. They faded away from the 2 leaders as Noah Mayuri and Jason Gracias putting over a second on 3rd place. But I think Alonso knows main game is keep track of Caldwell. Yeah, that's your only guy you're really looking at. As long as you finish ahead of him, you're sitting pretty.
And for Chocano and Caldwell, they are nose to tail. A battle with Kyle Reuter and Chocano helped bring Caldwell into the picture just a little bit. Chocano using the draft off Reuter. And they will be side by side going into 3. Chicano drives it in deep. This is the first time we've really seen him on the bottom.
That was a huge sin for him going into turn 3 to make sure he cleared Rooter there. And
Oh, big slide off
oh, got
four.
loose on exit. He paid the price for it there, and Rooter's going to come back for him here.
Yeah, definitely pushing hard. It doesn't matter the lane. I've seen him get loose a couple times now, it seems. He's really trying to get his exits going. I'm not sure if that's the smartest move this early on, going into lap 30. Hopefully his tire management skills will pay off later on, because right now he's definitely the harder two pushing between Caldwell and Chocano.
And talking about tire management, Caldwell will admit it's no secret he is not the best at tire saving. So right here, knowing that Caldwell is not the best with tire saving, seeing Chicano have all these slides, that might make Caldwell a little bit excited here. Knowing he's pressuring Chicano, making Chicano make these mistakes, and maybe cost him a little bit in tire wear.
For sure. Also, with Kyle Reuter being right alongside Chicano, it means that his lines are limited. He is stuck in the third and fourth lanes, it seems. And while that is his preferred line right now, with the amount of pressure and, I guess, throttle input he's given, it might start hurting him more if he's not able to freely open up and choose his line accordingly. Unlike Caldwell right now, who has that open track behind this two.
For Caldwell, he doesn't really have to press hard right now. 31 laps into this thing, 104 to go. He's got the championship locked up right now. The only bonus point between the two... Sorry, there's 2 bonus points that have been given out between the two. Nope, I am wrong once again. The fastest lap is to Alexander Kerfman. So, the only bonus point between the two is the lap led by Alonso Chicano. So you think one position is a point. And Caldwell rather, side by side, great pass on Reuter. And I think he's going to give up all that momentum. So now there's only one position between the two. That's 1 point plus the bonus point from Chicano. That'd be 2 points. So right now it's down to 4 points for Chicano to try to get in front of Caldwell in the points gap. With Caldwell in his position, right now that's impossible for Chicano to accomplish. And if Caldwell gets ahead of Chicano, there's not really much Chicano can do other than get right back in front of Caldwell.
They got a fourth driver in this mix for third. Justin Duran has drove his way past the group that he was with, all the way up into this battle for third on the freshest tires of the 4. Oh, as he gets into the wall on the outside, he's going to lose that momentum, fall back behind Alexander Kerfman.
He's going to lose another spot to Caldwell. That was very unfortunate. He had gained, as you mentioned there, Nick, a ton of time on those guys, and he had been a lot faster than him the last couple of laps, and it looked like he was going to have to try to find a way around him, and now he's going to have to restart again.
Yeah, definitely. With the battle for third slowing down, they are now over 3 seconds behind second and first. It has really become a battle between the two, more so than the win itself.
Seems like Chicano is a little bit slower than these guys right now, both Caldwell and Reuter, and we've seen Reuter fall off a little bit, and now Caldwell has a huge slide off of 4, so Chicano open up the gap a little bit now with that.
Now Caldwell with pressure from Reuter right behind after that slide, and Caldwell trying that wall out.
He's definitely looking for something. He knows for sure, again, with the points as they run, Caldwell will have it over Chicano by 4 with that position and the bonus point. So he's not super pressured to go and run past Chicano as Chicano slides towards the wall in 4 again. He just knows that he's got to keep him within his sights. He's going to maybe go for a pass on the inside of 1.
Side by side into turn 1. Caldwell all the way on the bottom, and he's going to clear Chocano. Is Chocano going to try the crossover? He does. Still side by side down the backstretch.
Cat and mouse in the house. They are going to be going at it for this championship. Kyle Reuter thinking about putting a nose in.
And I think Reuter backed out of it as he saw Caldwell coming down. Chocano slides up. Caldwell keeps it even lower. They're going to be side by side. Advantage Chocano going into turn 1.
Reuter's been very patient with these two. I've seen him back out a couple times when there be a potential opportunity to go for it. Big respect to him.
Slide right in front of him again. Chocano, another crossover. Sorry, Nick, but they almost made contact off of 2 again.
By all means, no worries.
And Caldwell, he is running even lower of a line than Chocano is. Chocano slide a little bit off turn 4, so it seems like the one getting closest to the wall is Chocano. One getting closest to that white line is Caldwell. And they're going to be side by side. You can drive a semi between the two. Side by side off the exit of 2. Right now, Chocano with the advantage. Caldwell's just going to have to tuck in right behind Chocano.
And you do wonder, with all this battling going on, they've brought in, looks to be 3, maybe even 4 cars. If they can work together, this might actually have championship implications if they choose to sit behind or if they choose to attack, as the positions are close.
Chocano.
Yeah, absolutely. Chocano is sliding. He's very loose on the bottom, Josh. Wow. He's going to lose the position.
Big slide out of Chocano, and Kyle Reuter taking advantage of that slide. Going to get around Chocano. And Chocano is actually going to come down to the bottom through 3 and 4.
I think that was a good call on Chocano. He kind of, as he slides again, he kind of needs to save face like Nick just mentioned. He can't lose all these positions. Everyone's so close right here as Alexander Cliffan attacks him on the inside. That's going to be a lot of track position he's going to have to recover if he keeps floundering here.
I agree. He's definitely going to have to regroup and maybe hope for either a caution or a really clean pit stop, as his tires are starting to go. It looks like he's kind of starting to get all over the place. Maybe just too much too soon. And Cameron is starting to pull away with Reuter as they're now side by side with Alexander Curfan and Justin Duran all hunting down Chocano.
Nick, you mentioned Chicano's going to kind of have to hope for a caution, maybe to get back in the game with Caldwell. Right now, the way things are going, if I'm in an official iRacing race, I'm going to know in the back of my mind, we're on lap 42, there's 19 laps to go, the caution's going to come out. Racing with these guys, though, we went almost all of the Milwaukee Mile last week without having a caution. Only caution came out within the last 2 laps of the race. If I'm racing in the InThePitsNews Truck Series, I'm not so sure a caution will come out. So Chocano, the other option that you mentioned is he's going to need a good pit stop. He's going to have to use the lessons he's learned on this run here to regroup and maybe not use up so much tire as he is right now, and hope that Caldwell does what he normally does and not save as much tire and give Chocano the advantage on the next run.
Speaking of not getting the advantage, it looks like Kyle Reuter's finally passed Caldwell for 3rd. He might take off and try to catch the leaders, as they are now an astounding 5 seconds back from the main lead. They are certainly in a battle of their own.
And between these two drivers, Jason Gracias and Noah Mayuri, they're not even all that close together. Noah has a big advantage over Jason Gracias.
Yeah, they've definitely taken the big. I'm sorry, apology, Adam. You can go for it.
Well, I was just saying, I've been watching these two the last couple of laps. Our two leaders, Noah Mauri and Jason Gracias, it stayed about a 1.2 second gap. So we'll see if Jason's going to be able to do anything. We saw him dominate Richmond a couple weeks ago, and he came out of nowhere, but he had to wait 50 laps to warm up, as he loses another chunk of time to that 8 truck here. So we'll see if he can warm up. But Noah Mauri, as I mentioned earlier, debut driver, just dominating.
Pit stops are starting. We saw there Mike Tellier on pit road taking his service. Now we've got Brett Bennett coming down pit road, get his service. 46 laps into this thing. Pit stops
Jason
are
Gracias is in auto.
Jason Gracias now. He pulls down. So out of the
question when the championship leaders will come in for their pit stops. Go ahead, Josh.
That's actually exactly what I was going to say, Nick. It's going to be interesting to see who makes the move first. Chocano right now behind Caldwell. I think Chocano may have to make the move first. And right here, he's got so many trucks near him. Alexander Kerfan right behind him. That's a teammate. Carl Felver just behind, as well as Clarence Feldner.
Cameron Caldwell got around Kyle Ruder for a moment, but Ruder's fighting back on the inside of the 12 truck down the back straightaway.
Caleb McCurry, this next driver to come down pit road, and Noah Mayuri down pit road now.
This is big for championship implications, as Cameron Caldwell will get to lead a lap, tying up the bonus points.
Well, exactly what I was about to mention. I don't think he quite got it. I think he was just off of Kyle Lauder there at the start-finish line, so he's going to want to sit out another lap and try and beat the 9 truck.
And you mentioned it, Kyle Reuter actually did lead that lap. Caldwell ahead of Reuter. Right now, Chocano is Reuter's biggest fan. They both.
Caldwell's clear of Reuter, though, into 3. It looks like Caldwell's going to lead this lap if he can hang on to it here off of 4.
They both ran the bottom, but Caldwell is clear. He has the advantage. Lap led to Cameron Caldwell. So, lap sled bonus point. Those cancel each other out.
And meanwhile, on the back straightaway, Jason Gracias just cleared Noah Mayuri. That would be for the overall lead once everything cycles out here.
See here
And
how...
you have to give it to...
Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, you have to give it to Chocano. I think he's starting to fade on those tires, trying to push back through. Currently fighting with Carl Feldner and Clarence Feldner coming through. I think he's just hoping that Caldwell will be the first to make that stop and maybe use those fresher tires for his advantage.
Looks like Caldwell's going to come in this time. He was pretty low into 3, and he's making way for Jason Duran on the outside to go to the lead, and indeed he is. The 12's coming in.
As well as the 9. So Caldwell and Reuter both are now
And Chocano follows them.
Lonzo Chocano and Dalton Kelly all down pit road. And I'll tell you what, Caldwell, he went in hot. Left sides are up. And that 12 machine is going way ahead of Kyle Reuter and Chocano. Great stop out of the...
Yeah, that's a big gain on Reuter. And Alonso's going to try and pass Reuter on the access road. He has to back out of it.
That's going to be costly.
Yeah, it could have been much worse if they got off in the grass there, too.
Dawson Allen, Tyler Watermolen down pit road. Watermolen winner at Talladega. See here, Alonzo Chicano, he is ahead of Kyle Ritter. Kyle Ritter, he got loose in the middle of 3 and 4. His tires are cold and track temp is 82 degrees. So it'll be just a little bit harder for these tires to get up to temperature. Chocano and Caldwell, they're both 1 lap down, 12th and 13th. Caldwell was just able to get his lap back from Justin Durand, who is still out there and is yet to pit.
Yeah, it looks like Justin's playing the longest game out of all of them, hoping that within these pit cycles that someone might make a slight mistake, cause a caution, and he'll be able to get a free tire set.
Meanwhile, Jason Gracias and Noah Maiori, they are nose to tail and they're going at it again for this top spot here on the back straightaway. Or what will become the lead once everything cycles. Currently P4. And Maiori's going to get around the 1 truck here on the front straightaway, so Maiori's going to have the advantage here once Justin Durand, Carl Felder, and Andrew Elias pit.
Jason Gracias losing time now to Maiori.
And Justin Durand's on pit road.
This is the battle for the lead once things cycle through. Carl Felber and Andrew Elias still have yet to come down pit road. And Tyler Watermolen back down pit road. I wonder if he got a penalty there.
Yeah, tough break for him for sure. It looks like he might have had a couple stop and goes not going his way as he's now 3 laps down of the rest of the group.
And I believe he just retired out of the session.
Tough break for the Talladega winner.
David Durand coming out of pit road.
I was wondering if his damage was sufficient from the first caution earlier. It appears that it was more costly than anticipated, as he's now currently 37 laps down, just getting the laps out for the series finale.
Fortunately, that's kind of been the theme of his season. He's been collected in a bunch of crashes, and whoa, big slide back into the pits. Wow.
And I think that's going to take David Durand out of it.
Like I said, kind of just the summary of his season here. I think that's frustration's boiling over.
So one brother not doing too well. The other, Justin Durand, is trying the strategy we saw there, staying out a little bit longer. Justin Durand currently running 14th. He was making really good gains during that first run. I think Justin Durand rather, he continues that strategy throughout the night. Justin actually might have something to contend for the win later on.
Yeah, and fresh tires, he's running the fastest laps of the race right now, obviously, so see him try and unlap himself here if he can get around Felva once they pit. And he'll be, once again, trying to fly through the field.
Absolutely, he's had quite the quiet season so far. This is he's currently going for probably his best finish, by far his best showing for sure. Curious to see if this momentum will appear into season 2.
Cameron Caldwell, right behind teammate Alexander Kerfan. Caldwell, he doesn't have anything to worry about right now. He could just kind of sit here and finish 6th, still take himself home a championship. Alonso Chicano running 8th and really far behind. See there, they cross the line. And now Alonso Chicano is at the line behind Mike Tellier. Chicano looks to the bottom of Tellier, and I think he's going to be able to clear Tellier.
Paul Felber is on pit road from what was the race lead. And it looks like he's going to lose a lap staying out this long. No surprise there, but once again, he will be on freshest tires of anyone else.
So
Andrew Elias also down the pit road.
And the lead back to Mayuri. The driver of the 8 truck.
Yep, him and Jason Grass are definitely in a field of their own tonight. They put us an astounding 12 seconds on 3rd place back. They are definitely duking it out for the win tonight. They are the 2 favorites.
Let's do turn it up. So we see Caldwell and Kerfan side by side. 71 laps down. Just 64 laps remain in the season and in the InThePitsNews 200 here in the InThePitsNews Truck Series. Noah Mayuri has been doing a great job tonight, leading a lot of laps. And him and Jason Gracias have really put on a clinic, going away from everybody in the field. But ultimately, it's Noah who has the advantage over Jason Gracias for the lead.
Yeah, he's extended that gap out just a little bit the last few laps, and they are eking into the tail end of the lead lap. They just got passed by Color Felva a few laps ago, who's on fresher tires, but right in front of him is Kayla McCurry, Brett Bennett, and Don Kelly.
Debut start for Noah Mayuri tonight. Could he be like Tom Borden and also get his debut win on the first go?
I think it's very possible the way he is running tonight. And we've seen multiple debut drivers have great races and absolutely put on great performances. Not all of them have been able to get the checkered flag, though, despite absolutely dominating the race. See a little slide there out of Mayuri, out of turn 4.
Yeah, but right now it seems like he's almost in cruise control. He knows he's definitely the forefront man in this race. But he's, like it's been mentioned, he's been gapping Gracias, his only main competition for the night, as everyone else is falling about 10 seconds further back.
$60 laps to go rather. Alonso Chicano currently P6. He is definitely not liking the way this race is playing out. It's Chicano behind Caldwell, and right now the point numbers, they don't matter, as Caldwell is ahead. Caldwell being the points leader. Nothing Chicano can do at this point of the race, other than gain positions and get ahead of Caldwell. Chicano led laps early on in the race. Right now, the only bonus points between the two is the laps led bonus points. Fastest lap goes to actually race leader Noah Mayuri.
Yeah, we're still seeing Alonso struggle here. He just lost a position to Rudo just a handful of laps ago, who's on the better tires than Chicano actually, they pitted on the same lap. But we saw Alonso have the same issues on the last one. He just faded very early compared to the rest of the competition.
Now, I'm sure we've all done a lot of official races, and I know the worst thing that could happen on track is when you're on the same strategy as someone and you just start seeing them pull away from you. It's definitely it's heartbreaking to know, like, what could I be doing to manage these tires the same? You know, you try running equal lines, and it really can be frustrating. But Alonso is a tough guy. There's still a lot of time left in this race. Anything could happen. We've said this before, and chaos has erupted. So, well, let's see what the boys have in store with this today.
Cameron Caldwell, P3, he has pulled away from Alexander Kerfan, so Caldwell kind of all by himself at the moment. He's got Alexander Kerfan a little over a second behind him, and then a clean track in front. Caldwell, nothing to worry about at this point in the race, especially with Chocano if he positions back.
Yeah, he's definitely just wanting those laps to roll back, roll down, so that he can secure this first championship, if I'm not mistaken, for Caldwell.
Race leader Mayer, he's catching up to some lap trucks. A few in front of him. Caleb Curry, David Duran, and Brett Bennett. The trucks in front. David Duran, we saw, of course, a huge hit in pit road. It's amazing to see that 24 machine back out on track.
And the other big hitter of the night, Matthew Rodriguez, also running right behind Chocano right now. There's definitely no drivers wanting to give up their laps, their points to finish up the season.
And there is no better way to get experience than having track time racing with the drivers that you usually race with. So, trying to gain experience, even though your truck is down and out, it's always a good thing to continue to get some laps under your belt. David Durand, he is 57 laps down. And sitting 17th out of the 18 from the field. So David Durand, he really is out of this thing. Just trying to get some laps under his belt.
Oh, that's the good thing about the InThePitsNews Truck Series is that you can almost guarantee that you're gonna get long lap run experience. I know in official racing it can be tough at times where it feels like you're playing iPacing rather than iRacing with everyone going for it all the time. Here for sure, you definitely get to really experience the strategy side of things. Of do I pick 2 or 4 tires for this run? You really get to learn and feel out all the tire capabilities, and in the trucks especially. When you're so used to short runs, it can feel like you're invincible. But once you actually start getting like 30, 40, 50, maybe even 60 laps into a run, you really start realizing what the truck is capable of doing and how lines really implement into each other. And it's been great for season 1. I'd say it's been quite a successful tenure. I know as we're finishing this up, I'm already excited for season 2, Josh.
And for the fans watching at home, that is coming from a driver's perspective, from Nick Dornick. Talking about these longer runs, you do really feel invincible on short runs. I had the opportunity to run Michigan earlier in the season, and it did have a different kind of feel to it than what I'm used to doing. Longer runs, green flag pit stops. That's not something that you see a lot of times in official races. And so for these drivers, it's something to, they got to get used to, a different kind of experience. And a lot of practice, prep time goes into it. So, drivers like David Durand, right now, his truck, as you see on screen, it is all beat up. All down the front, the sides. I think the cleanest part of his truck is the tailgate. The rear end of his truck looks like the cleanest part of it. So he's not getting, laps under his belt at full speed as if he had a clean truck. But it's still laps, and great information to use through next season.
Yeah, next season, starting in the next month at Daytona. Adam, question for you: when are we going to see your debut out in the InThePitsNews Truck Series?
Oh man, I don't know. Probably not for a little while at least. I was gonna mention, man, this booth has led what, like 39 laps this season. It's pretty good, but then you realize how it happened. But
Well, you say this booth has led it, and actually, I didn't even think about that. You know, saying this booth has led 39 laps. 7 of those laps actually came from me at Michigan International Speedway. So I guess we know who the better one is out of the 3 of us. Go out there and lead more laps. It's Nick Gornick, but you know, this is absolutely a great league. As we see time and time again, each and every single week. These drivers just continue to put on a great show, and definitely excited to see who's going to win the championship. You know, don't count out Chocano. There's still 45 laps to go. And we've got a driver in pit road, in Jason Gracias.
yeah, he had lost about a second to the leader in lap traffic, who Mayuri got through the traffic perfectly fine, but Gracias got stuck. He got held up, and let's see what this poster can do. He's taking a short pit on the number 8 truck of Noah Mayuri.
All right, sides go up.
I think for sure he's definitely thinking the strategy to potentially go and get this win, as Noah Mayuri has been able to pull a little bit on him, but Jason's not gonna sit and just accept second. He's gonna go up for the win.
So now it makes you wonder how long until Noah Mayuri comes out there, or comes into the pits, pushes his lead for some 4 fresh tires. And it doesn't look like it's going to be this time. So Noah, he is absolutely satisfied with what's on his truck at the moment. He has 44 laps on this run, so his pit service, it'll be coming soon. He definitely cannot make it to the end. You see Brett Bennett on pit road now. A little bit of damage on the right side of his 47 truck.
Games never end in the InThePitsNews Truck Series of when you want to take your truck down. Are you anticipating a potential caution? Are you trying to get the freshest tires at the beginning or the end of the run? Only time will tell, but this whole season it's been like that.
Seen 2 drivers make that 3 drivers with Mike Tellyer coming down pit road now. And actually, now race leader, Noah Mayuri, down pit road. So when does Chocano come down? So we see Caldwell stays out once again. Caldwell will not have that lap led, as Noah Mayuri was past the line in pit road. Chocano and Caldwell still out on track.
Last time, Jason Gracias beat out the 8, and it was a close battle at the end of the back straightaway, and this time, 3-lap difference, Gracias is gone way before the 8 even exits pit lane.
You see there the pink truck on the screen. It's Gracias' truck just exiting is Mayuri.
The undercut proving prevalent to Jason Gracias, as he'll be the tentative leader if everything pans out. Noah Mayuri will have to run back that time, but with the fresher tires, it might be pretty close to the end in regards of who is actually going to be leading this.
About a 3-second gap right now, so it could be very close all the way to the end, as you mentioned, Nick.
Alonso Chocano right now in a battle with Carl Felver. And Chicano is so far behind Caldwell. Even if Chicano tried short pitch strategy like we saw with Jason Gracias, it would definitely be almost near impossible to try to undercut Cameron Caldwell. I think Chicano knows this, and that's why he's not trying to go for it. Even if he does come down pit road, Cameron Caldwell still has the opportunity to know that Chicano is down pit road and capitalize on that.
I agree with the 11-second advantage that Cameron currently has. He's the one very much in the driver's seat. He can pick and choose when he wants to go down. He is the one that doesn't have the work really cut out for him. Chicano's the one that, if he's going to make a move, he's got to do it soon.
And I think Alonso Chicano, he is wanting a caution to come out. I think Chicano knows that his only opportunity here is for a caution to come out, or Cameron Caldwell to have some kind of mistake, whether it be on track to get heavy damage or pit road mistake. These drivers, they know this is the last pit stop of the season that'll be coming up. This is the money stop. Pit speed is 50 miles an hour, and we saw Caldwell. I wasn't so sure if he made it that last time. The last time that Caldwell came down pit road, but he did make it. So we did not see him serve a penalty.
Alex Kuffin slides into pit road from second place. Looks like he's down to speed, but he had a hairy moment trying to miss the barrels on the end of the pit attenuator.
Colin Kelly did a good job of giving him that space in order to slide back down. That could have been very hairy, very quick.
For Caldwell, he stays out another time around. 34 laps to go for the 12, who is currently the leader. Still has yet to come down pit road.
Oh, Fellow spun into the pit opening, sorry Josh, but from inside the top 5, the 15 spins onto pit entry.
And he was on the safety of pit road, so no caution would come out for that.
If I was Chicano there, I would have been hoping that he was back about 4 or 5 more truck lengths just before that cone barrier to maybe trigger something. But not going to happen this time around, as Chicano is now entering pit lane.
So Alonso Chicano, he needs to get it down to 50 miles an hour. He's got Matthew Rodriguez right behind him, as well as Justin Durand, who entered pit road with him.
Looks like a bit of right side damage to that 25 truck. No surprise seeing how close he's been to that wall all night long.
I think he actually tried to pit last lap because I saw him check up with Jason Gracias. As we see the timing and scoring, currently 21 seconds of Cameron Caldwell. That's more than 10 seconds lost. I think there might have been an error on his part.
Cameron Caldwell actually down pit road now with Reuter and Feldner. And Caldwell, he took a much easier approach into entering pit road this time. So there was no doubt about.
I just looked back, Nick. Yeah, you're absolutely right. He slid and he almost got tuned by Jason Gracias because of how much he slid off the corner. So could have been a very, very unfortunate accident for Chicano. But like you mentioned, he lost 10 seconds to Caldwell because of it. And now he's being shown 1 lap down to the race leader as everything has gotten cycled out.
as you mentioned earlier, Adam, Noah Mayuri is slowly running down Jason Gracias as he now takes the lead. 1.5 seconds between the two. They are most certainly your drivers to beat tonight.
So Alonso Chicano is a lap down. Cameron Caldwell was able to stay ahead of the one truck of Jason Gracias, so Caldwell not a lap down. So now if a caution were to come out, this would absolutely hurt Chicano. Chicano's not even the first truck one lap down. It is Kyle Reuter, who is now unlapping himself. And Clarence Feldner not too far behind.
And Mike Tully is right in front of Jason Gracia, so it's not. He's gonna have to hurry up if he wants to get the lucky dog, because he's gonna keep changing the leaders at the tail end of the field, really.
I'm sorry, I was actually mistaken. I was looking at the 8-less leader. So.
And Cam Caldwell's only 3 seconds ahead of Gracias also, so he's in danger of going down a lot.
I believe Caldwell with the fresher tires will not go one lap down to Gracias. Kyle Reuter now back on the lead lap after getting ahead of the one truck. Clarence Feldner still having issues getting around the 8. Noah Mayuri.
Mayuri's brought the gap in between first and second within 1 second on track, so we'll see if he's going to be able to put up a fight here.
Now side by side is the 77 of Clarence Feldner and the 8 of Noah Mayuri, but Noah with the advantage, so still Feldner having a hard time trying to get around the 8. Not for position, but the leader is just ahead, so if Feldner can get this lap back, that will put Alonso Chicano as the lucky dog position if a caution were to come out with just 27 coming to 26 laps to go in this race.
Now, with the unlucky stop that Alonso did have, he is certainly in desperation mode. Anything that could potentially bring the gap closer to Caldwell will be greatly appreciated in his books. Clarence Feldner is now by Noah Mayuri, passing Jason Gracias. The battle for the lead, only 1.1 seconds difference. We're thinking that Jason will just let Clarence go and he'll try to just suck in with the draft, but we shall see how that goes. If I was Jason right now, I'd definitely just be trying to let him as easily, but not as time wasting as possible, so that he can get back into his groove and keep pulling away, because Noah's hunting.
And now with Feldner back on the lead lap, that puts Chicano in the lucky dog position. And Gracias does not have any trucks in front of him that he is catching to put a lap down. So right now, there are trucks right in front of Gracias, but they're all on fresher tires and will start pulling away.
I believe Mike Tully would be the only one Chicano would have to worry about. I believe he's on a very early pit strategy also, like the top two are.
And actually, as you say that, Mike Tellier is losing time to race leader Jason Gracias.
This could be a real big factor between Gracias and Noah Mayuri here. Mayuri's really running him down here as you see the gap. Closed within 0.6 of a second, almost in half from what it was just 5 laps ago.
Mayuri, he's got the draft now. He can use that draft to help him out on those long straightaways.
Huge run through turn 3 and 4. A lot faster using that lower line there. And the slow choke of Mike Tully is definitely not helping Gracias any. Here he comes. He's got a chance right here to attack.
Gracias was running just low enough that Mayuri couldn't make a move to try to get to the inside. Looking through 3, I think Mayuri was going to try to go to the inside. Ultimately had to back off. Gracias sliding up a little too early. This is going to give Mayuri the advantage down the front straightaway. 20 laps to go. Excuse me, 21 laps to go in the race, side by side, for the race lead now.
It's just ever so slightly going to clear him. I'm not sure he's going to come up quite yet, as the lap truck is still right within their range. Jason Gracias is going to try and use the draft of that lap truck to keep him battling on the outside.
And Gracias gonna try a crossover in the middle of the corner. No, it's loose. Wow, they almost made contact.
Huge save by Noah in order to keep that green. These boys are battling.
Still side by side. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody get that loose and still be right there for the lead.
You know, I think these two understand that they are the class act to beat right now. 18 seconds to third place. They are definitely wanting to keep this thing green in regards of their chances of winning.
20 laps to go, coming to 19 here for these two drivers. And I think the gloves are off between these two. Jason Gracias and Noah Mayuri. They're side by side through turn 1. Mike Tellier up in the wall. He's going to stay out of the way, not be a factor in this battle anymore. Noah Mayuri not quite clear as they're still side by side down the backstretch.
Big implications. Mike Tellier would now be your lucky dog, but it looks like Chocano would have more luck not going his way as Carl Feldner is now by him.
Mayuri clear for the top spot, but Gracias not letting him get too far away yet. And you're right, Nick. Carl Feldner just got around Chocano about a lap ago for that lucky dog. What would have been the lucky dog position had they not lapped Tellier.
Tough break for the other championship contender as Mayuri and Gracias still go for it for first place. You know, one's trying to get their second one of the season. Gracias winning Richmond earlier in the season. Noah Mayuri, as we've mentioned, his debut race, trying to go for that debut win.
17 laps to go now for Noah, who is pulling away from Jason Gracias. Noah actually no longer has the fastest lap of the race. Kyle Reuter has fastest lap of the race. So, not that right now it matters between the 25 and the 12. That is a point that neither one of them will get. So right now it is kind of even as far as the bonus points go. Ultimately right now 16 laps to go. Cameron Caldwell would be your InThePitsNews Truck Series champion.
You know, and for a championship ride, currently sitting 4th place, he's definitely situated himself pretty nicely. Nice gap in front and behind as Gracias touching the wall going into 3. Cameron definitely has the counting down the laps approach as he's trying to secure this first season of the InThePitsNews Truck Series.
This race has seen only one caution, and it came way early in the race.
Yep, with drivers David Duran and Matthew Rodriguez getting together, they have now both passed Tyler Watermullen on the laps led or the laps on track for the day. Tough break for Tyler, having his issues early on.
Noah Mayuri running back on the tail end of lead lap trucks, excuse me, about to put Dalton Kelly down a lap here in turn 4. And he's pulled away from Jason Gracias quite handsomely. About a 1.2 second gap. And now he just extended a lap, actually 1.4 seconds between the two.
Mayer, he's doing a great job tonight. Definitely been the class of the field.
Don't count out Jason Gracias' performance tonight as well, as again they've pulled almost 14 seconds to third place. These two have definitely been the battle. Jason keeping him honest at the very least, so that he cannot sit pretty.
Lots of Chocano. Currently P10. He's got Mike Tellier and Carl Felver right in front of him. Dalton Kelly is a lap down. Dalton Kelly is well ahead of the 25 trucks. You see some damage on the side of Alonso Chicano's truck there. Chicano just struggling to get by the 97 of Mike Tellier. Now side by side with Tellier down the backstretch. This is definitely not the way Chocano has wanted to have this race go by any means.
At a very tough end to the season for him. It's just not the night it's looking for. He's been loose. He's been tight. He's had a bad pit stop. It's definitely one thing to lose it by inches, but to lose it by a mile is also never that good feeling. But I'm sure that he'll at least regroup. You know, there's still 10 laps left. Anything could possibly happen, but at this rate, he needs to hope and pray that something will be of fortune. It seems the whole theme of the race tonight has been close calls.
Himself and Carl Felver are catching the leaders at the moment, the way the tire fall-off has been, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And like you mentioned, it won't really matter because I don't think we're going to get a caution this deep in the race for it to affect him, where they'll have a chance to recycle and get back up there.
I agree. Even if they did, Dalton Kelly's still sitting in front of Carl Felver and Alonso Chicano. Chicano would need to leapfrog both of them if he wanted to even have a glimmering hopes of a chance. What do you think? What do you think if you're Cameron Caldwell right now and you have only a handful of laps left before holding this down? What kind of nerves and expressions do you think we'd be feeling right now?
You know, that's a great question. And I think right now, Cameron Caldwell, the only thing going through his mind is please no caution. Because cautions usually breed cautions when you're this late in a race. And that could open up the door for Chocano to get back on the lead lap a lot easier. Even though he's the third truck, one lap down right now, if caution were to come out, definitely count on Alonso Chicano to get into a position where he could get back on the lead lap, and then they'd have to do another restart.
And definitely one thing I'm seeing right now is these lap drivers trying to get around Jason Gracias. Gracias tags the wall there. It's about the closest fight on track for the potential lucky dog position. And with it being so close, I'm just curious, you know, will they ruffle feathers, or will they play nice coming to the closing? You know, they are lapped down, but that doesn't mean the intensity just drops.
Brett Bennett just went 2 laps down. Brett Bennett was in the wall He was able to get off the wall, stay green, stay going forward. 5 laps to go for your race leader.
And he's got 5 lap trucks and 4 seconds between he and Jason Gracia. So he's the one really just riding and hoping for no yellow. He's making time and making, well, good time too, this deep in the run with his old beat up tires.
Carl Felber and Dalton Kelly, the closest battle on track right now, running the high line. They've been the two to go. I've seen Carl especially has been it was pushing as hard as Alonso was early in this run, getting that thing sideways.
Oh, Brett Bennett in the wall in front of him made them check up, and Felber was going to have a huge run here. This is the battle for 7th position on track, like you mentioned, Nick, and first one lap down.
Cameron Caldwell just crossed the line to have 3 laps to go. Ultimately, it determines to the leader whether or not the leader takes the white flag. To see if we'll see another caution. This leader is Noah Mayer. He's crossing the line now, but for Caldwell, this is everything he wanted this race to be. He won 3 races earlier in the season to get him into the position here where he's had the gap over Chocano to try to become the InThePitsNews Truck Series champion. Caldwell started off the season finishing second to a teammate Chocano. Went right to Auto Club, parking in Victory Lane. Absolutely dominated the early stages of the season, finishing in the top 3 for the first half of the season. Now the white flag waves. Cameron Caldwell has just 1 lap to go, and he will be the InThePitsNews Truck Series champion. Noah Mayer, on the other hand, he's got a win coming his way off turn 4. Cross the checkered flag. Noah Mayer is going to win the race. And off turn 4, Cameron Caldwell is your InThePitsNews Truck Series champion.
Mystery consistency, as I coined the name to him. Again, he's another top 5 finish for Cameron. It's been the theme of his season for the most part. Last couple races were getting a little dicey, but all in all, he's done it again.
See here, Noah Mayer burning it down, doing some victory donuts. And, these donuts, they taste good. But I think the donuts that Caldwell are about to do are going to taste even better.
Once again, what a great run for Noah Mayer as he just kills the truck there for a moment. What a great job on dominating tonight. And just coming out here and just kind of showing up the field, and on debut, like we kept mentioning throughout the night, good to see a new face just up there and threatened Jason for the win, and kind of really took everyone else to school.
You can see Cameron about to start turning it up. With the Radius teammates, they also secured the team championship this season.
This is probably Cameron Caldwell's favorite fourth place finish ever in his league racing history. Well, before we get into driver interviews, let's go down our running order. Noah Mayeri takes the win after dominating the race. Jason Gracias was running up there with Noah Mayeri all race long, ultimately coming home second place. So Alexander Kerfan, P3. Your champion, Cameron Caldwell, P4. And Kyle Reuter will finish 5th place.
6th is going to be Clarence Feldner. First truck 1 lap down was Alonzo Chocano, who ends up 7th tonight. Carla Felver 8th. Dalton Kelly 9th. And Mike Tully rounds out the 9th and 10th.
11th place, we got Justin Duran. In 12th, we have Caleb McCurry. 13th place, Andrew Willius. 14th, 2 laps down, Brett Bennett. 15th, with a disconnected wheel, we got Dawson Allen.
16th is David Duran. We saw him hit the wall hard entering pit road earlier in the race. Matthew Rodriguez involved in an accident, the only accident of the race that brought out a caution. Tyler Watermullen will finish tonight in 18th place. Cameron Caldwell, he is not done out there. He wants to continue to celebrate all night.
You know, and what a season for Cameron. You know, all but 3 races in the top 5 or better. Well, I guess top 4 or better. He definitely had the consistency laid down. Definitely showing that he was a mainstay no matter what. No matter what he'd tell you, he was. If you listen to him the first couple races, he was quite unsure about his consistent luck. But luck definitely had minimal to do with the most majority of his races.
All right, let's go ahead and hear from our 3rd place finisher, Alexander Kerfan. Nick, I believe you are with Kerfan.
Hey, how's it going?
Yes, how is it going? We saw you race around with the battle between Caldwell and Chocano. Just tell me how that was going, knowing that you are your teammates with both of them, but you know that you had a bit more pace than them.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to mess up the race, but they told us before the race, you got to do what you got to do, and if you want to race us, but just keep it respectful. Keep in mind that they're running for a championship, and as long as we follow that, really no problems.
Being your 3rd podium of the season, you've had a pretty successful tenure, it looks like. Going to be finishing just shy of 3rd place overall to Kyle Reuter, I believe. What are things you're looking to improve on for season 2?
Definitely qualifying. I feel like my race pace is there. Once I get going on a run, I can hang with the top guys. But right now, besides Richmond and maybe a couple of other tracks, I've been pretty unsatisfied with my qualifying performance this season. So that's definitely something I need to work on.
Of course, and one last thing before we hit you off. Is there any sponsors you'd like to thank for tonight?
I'd like to thank my family watching, my friends. I'd like to thank Kerfan's Blue Collar Market. I'd like to thank all of Radius Racing. It's been a heck of a season. Really enjoyed racing for the team. Thank you, Cam Caldwell, Alonzo Chocano. Thank you for the opportunity. It's been a lot of fun. And a great broadcast, guys.
Oh, thank you very much, Alex. Congratulations on your 3rd place tonight. Adam, I believe you have 2nd place. Jason Gracias with you?
Well, actually, it does not look like we will hear from Gracias, but Adam has made his way down into victory lane with our race winner tonight.
Yeah, hey Noah, congrats on the win. And what was it like being out there, just being able to, be on a league on your own really tonight?
Yeah, thank you. I've never raced in this league, and this is my first race tonight, and wasn't real sure what to expect. I've always enjoyed Homestead, so I figured I would be okay. But then I got out front in clean air, and it was pretty good from there. I think when you've got clean air, that definitely helps a lot. The one was really fast tonight. Um, there were a lot of guys that were pretty fast tonight, especially on that first run. It was tough, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I'll be honest, I cannot wait till next season. That was a ton of fun.
Yeah, racing Jason there at the end. What was it like having to run him down and then pass him in the final 40 laps, that final run to the end?
Yeah, I thought I had messed up because on that first pit stop, on the first green flag pit stop, I pitted a little after him and came out basically right behind him. And I thought, I can maybe stretch this out a little bit more and be a little bit more comfortable on fuel. And I stayed out a lot longer than I had originally planned to. And when I came back out on track, I looked and it was 4 seconds ahead, and I thought, man, this is going to be tough to come back from. And there were some lap cars that were racing, and no fault of their own. I mean, they're racing for position. I don't blame them there. But it just made it more difficult to get back to them. But it was fun. It was fun. Everybody was really respectful on the track, and yeah, everybody was really clean and ran their own lane. So it made it a lot of fun to kind of move up and into the different grooves and still make your way around pretty quickly. But when I got to him the first time, I wasn't. I thought I was clear, and I was. And I think he took the air off the back of my truck a little bit there when I cleared him, and got me loose. And I'm not sure if I got into him or not, but it was close either way. I was pretty sideways off the corner, and then had to come back, and that was a ton of fun. That was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun racing him tonight, and definitely look forward to it to doing that again.
Do you have any shout outs for sponsors, teammates, anything like that tonight?
Yeah, I want to say thank you to Zach Probst for inviting me to the league, and all of my teammates on PPM, the ones that aren't here as well. And thanks to you guys for broadcasting and all the admins for putting on a great race and from what I can tell, a really good league.
All right, thanks for your time. Congrats again tonight.
Thank you.
That was race winner Noah Mayuri. Let's go ahead, and actually now he is available. Jason Gracias, I believe. Nick has caught up with Jason.
Yep, I'm down here with the number 1 on the car, number 2 for the night. Jason, you were the only one to give Noah quite the battle tonight. Explain what your strategy was racing around the man.
I don't know, to be honest. We were pretty even the whole race. We're like probably trading hundreds every couple laps. He did a better job of not sliding his tires off of 4 a couple times, and I didn't. So that gave him a gap. But he did a great job nonetheless. So he did a great job saving his tires with strategy. So I was just outdueled. So congrats to Noah. Good win. I think it was his first start, so that's really impressive.
Indeed, it was. Going through lap traffic tonight, it seemed like you were getting quite some tough situations to go with the championship implications in play. Did you feel that you had to let off a little bit more to try and keep it green in order for your race, or do you feel like whatever was going to be thrown at you, you were just going to full send and try and chase back Noah?
I'm glad you saw that, because I don't know what it is with me in lap traffic. I can race everybody clean all season, and then for whatever reason, when I get to lap traffic, I just catch them at the worst time, or they get nervous and they swerve in front of me and almost spin out. and with chase implications, I don't know, man. I try to give people room, but when people overdrive corners and you have to hit the wall, you burn your tires up trying to get away from them, it's kind of frustrating. So I don't know. Frustrating race. Maybe next season I'll be more of a aggressive driver and just shove people out my way.
Yeah, it's excited to see what you can do for next season. Your 5th start this season, 3rd, top 5. Do you have any sponsors that you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, the shout out to C2 Graphics for coming up with some cool paint schemes. This millennial car was yeeting and turning left, and I was turned all race, but I just couldn't get it, yeeted into the victory lane. So sorry, Cam. Maybe next time. Not winning isn't great, but I guess top 5s are pretty cool.
Awesome. Thank you, Jensen, for the interview. Josh, we're going to send it back to you.
That was number 1 of Jason Gracias finishing P2. I am with the man of the hour, or well, the series, Cameron Caldwell, tonight's champion of the InThePitsNews Truck Series season. Cameron, congrats to you on the championship. How are you feeling after that big championship win?
Well, Josh, hearing you say my name with champion next to it sounds pretty dang cool. So I'm feeling pretty good. I drove as smart of a race as I could possibly drive, and obviously worked out in the end. I just want to give a big shout out to Alonso for the big battle we had all season, and we could never get away from each other in the points. And I think, luckily for the sake of the entertainment of the league, it came down to the last race, and it was still pretty close. But yeah, it always feels good to beat Alonso because he's always really quick no matter where we go. And it's just been a dream season for me. I thought coming in, I could maybe finish top 5 in points, but I felt like Alonso was going to run away with it. But man, feels pretty good.
At the start of the race, you didn't qualify as well as Chocano did. Chocano got off to an early start, got the lead, started leading laps. You were very aggressive in the beginning. When you saw Alonso in the lead, what was the mindset like?
Honestly, I wasn't trying to be aggressive because I saw the way that they were racing in front of me. I'm just like, if we go green, he's going to have his stuff burned up, and so I just backed it off. And obviously it took a little while, but I eventually got around him, and it ended up being that's all she wrote. So, I've kind of been trying to figure out how to be more patient, especially at the beginning of the race, because we saw last week, I feel like I had the speed to compete with Alonso all race, but I burned up my stuff fairly early. And in the race that we don't get any cautions, I just kind of screwed myself. So I was just kind of telling myself I just need to back it off, let it come to me, and it did. And he gave up a heck of a fight there, 40 laps into the race, and we're finally able to pull something on him and get around him. And like I said, that's all she wrote. Just took off from there.
So that battle there early on in the race, you said you backed off, kind of play patience game a little bit. At that point in the race, Alonso Chocano was still in front of you, but of course having a lot of battles around him. Was there any thoughts of if these guys wrecked, what you were going to try to do to avoid it?
I don't know. I didn't feel like, once we got going for a while, we kind of got spread out other than me, Alonso, and Kyle Reuter. We were all kind of racing together, and we all racing really clean. That was also something I was really focusing on because after, last week I felt really bad after all that happened, and I was telling myself I'm just going to play really easy with Alonso because I really messed that one up. And so we had a really nice clean battle. We never hit each other or anything, and they couldn't have gone any better there. Kyle was really fast all race. Like he took off at the end of the runs. It's just that first green flag pit stop, I was able to gap him enough to where it didn't matter for him to pass me anyway. So that was nice because I felt like he was going to start holding me up if we started battling, he's going to slow me down, and I didn't need that. So it was really nice to be able to pull away from him as the race went on. And, I wasn't really expecting it to go green after that first caution. So I just kind of felt like I just needed to keep running my line and doing what I was doing. And, I figured Alonso would get another chance at me, but he never was able to because we never got another caution. So that was a little surprising to me, but, it worked out really well in my favor. So sometimes you get some luck on your side for once, so it's pretty nice.
All right, we've seen that Season 2 schedule has been released. What's track that is definitely circled on your calendar as one that you want to go out and perform your absolute best at?
I would say pretty much the tracks I won at this season. I won at Auto Club in Michigan and Watkins Glen. I felt like, at least for Michigan and Watkins Glen, I feel like I was the best truck there. I think for Auto Club, I was top 3, but I think a couple guys had me a little bit better. But I think there's a couple other tracks like the Charlotte Roval, because it's another road course. I feel like I'm one of the better road racers in this league. And then IRP also, I felt like I was really fast there when we went there a few weeks ago. It just didn't play out in my favor at the end. So looking for some redemption next time I go there. And honestly, it just kind of feels like, a lot of the tracks that I won at this season, I didn't have circled on my calendar. Like I had Watkins. Because, like I said, I'm a good road racer, so I had that one circled for sure. But the others, I wasn't thinking I was going to win. So I think it just kind of comes up, and you get the right opportunity and you take it. So hopefully I can take a few more good opportunities, win some more races next season, and compete for next season's championship again.
All right. Well, is there any sponsor shout-outs, team shout-outs you'd like to give? Who gets it done for you behind the 12 machine?
Yep. Thanks to InThePitsNews for sponsoring me, sponsoring the series. Thanks to my other sponsors, Grid Network, C2 Graphics, Milwaukee Massage Therapy, Left Coast Survivals, RPS Marketing, Elite Performance Industries, Sim Shots, and everyone else that sponsors myself and Radius as a whole. Thanks to all my teammates for racing me clean this season. Thanks to Alonso for having a really good battle all season long. I know it kind of blew up in our faces last week, or at least in mine. So I'm glad we could end it on a good note here. And shout out to my friends and family watching, my grandparents, my parents. It's my dad's birthday today, so happy birthday, Dad. Whenever you get around to watching this, I think they're out to dinner right now, but hopefully he'll watch it later tonight and see the result. And thanks to you guys for broadcasting all season long. I know myself and Alonso are really grateful for that, and everyone else in the league too. And here's the next season. I think it's going to be a really good one with the longer schedule and all the changes we made. So we're looking forward to that. And thanks to everyone who's been watching all season long, and hopefully you'll stick around next season.
All right, that was champion Cameron Caldwell, driver of the 12. Before we conclude things, we do have one more interview. It is the man that finished 7th tonight in the race, 2nd in the points battle, Alonso Chocano. Alonso, not at all the way you wanted your race to go tonight, but still had a great season overall. I'm sure your focus is already on Season 2 to get the season underway, but still focusing on tonight. What the one pit stop that ultimately put you behind? What was the ultimate cause to put you behind from that?
First of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone for this whole season. That we were able to pull this through. Just really happy for this whole league. For the people that show up, week in and week out. really thankful for you guys, JCTV, who do an amazing job every single week. And also thankful for Celsius, my sponsors, Grid Network, InThePitsNews, and everyone who supports us. So um, yeah, so I that first green flag pit stop, I got slowed down just a bit behind Kyle Router. Just I don't know. I felt like on the exit, Cam just kind of went, and I was trying to keep up with him, but I don't know if Kyle was just trying to not spin out or what. But I feel like I lost a lot of time there. After that, I was like 3 seconds behind, and I didn't have the car or the skill to be able to catch him this race. Just the track just never came to me. I tried running some different lines, being really aggressive at the top, but just couldn't do anything just to really have a decent long run truck. So I had my work cut out for me, but all in all, it was still a good day, still a good season.
You were very aggressive early on in the race, getting to the lead and leading some laps. Um, when that was going on, what was the mindset like at that point? Was it, this is definitely my race to win at this point? What was the thoughts?
Um, no, I knew I didn't really have the speed to be the winning truck at that moment. Just really needed to lead some laps, but it was just a really well put out race. Thought out.
Well, before we let you go, is there any sponsor shout outs you'd like to give? Who gets done for you?
Yeah, like I said, just everyone at Radius. Shout out to Cam for putting this on. I was able to help him administrate this league, and once again, just you guys for putting on the show. At least putting on the ability for friends and family to watch the show. So really thankful to have you guys be a part of this.
Alrighty, that was Lonzo Chicano, driver of the 25 truck, runner up in the season standings. Nick, Adam, we saw a great race tonight, and we've had a great season of racing tonight. Nick, thank you for being in the booth. This is your second race in the booth with me. What is your take after seeing this one?
I when first coming in as a racer, I set the expectation pretty high for myself to see what kind of competition we were going to deal with and how I was going to be able to race. Unfortunately, some luck plagued me, and some inconsistencies with work and other things kind of took over. So I'm definitely excited that the season's over, but I'm more excited to get back into the car for season 2 and really put an effort forward. As much as it's great being in the booth, learning all the experience and hanging with the boys from JCTV, I know that I need to hunt for that championship next season.
Adam, it's been great calling races with you all season long. What is your favorite moment from this season being in the booth?
Oh man, it's hard to pick a favorite moment in the booth. It's been fun. Tonight was really fun with both you and Nick being able to call this race and being able to be with Gage a couple times this season and have the three of us there and just watching all these races has been pretty fun. A bunch of wacky races, bunch of chaotic stuff going on that kind of, leads to craziness. We didn't see a lot of that tonight, although that was probably for the better. And we did see a very exciting finish, and My favorite moment in the booth was being able to spend it with you. It's been a lot of fun up here. I'll chicken out that way, but it's been a lot of fun.
It has been a lot of fun. Well, no more racing for this season. We know who our champion is. It was driver of the 12th, Cameron Caldwell. But we'll bring up the schedule once again. And you see there, March 19th will be the Daytona International Speedway for the InThePitsNews Truck Series. That is the track to mark on the calendar for our next broadcast. Definitely looking forward to that one. Getting season 2 underway, and see if Alonso Chicano can go back to back at Daytona after winning the season opener of this season. That's going to wrap it up from us here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Big congratulations to Cameron Caldwell and the entire 12 team Radius Racing for winning the Drivers' Championship, Owners' Championship for Radius Racing as well. Radius Racing had a great season overall, and it took the entire team to make it happen. And I was definitely glad to be a part of a little bit of that success with my start at Michigan. So on behalf of Nick, Adam, and Gage, who's not here tonight, all the sponsors, series sponsors, InThePitsNews, Martin PC, Elite Performance Industries, C2 Graphics, JCTV, all the drivers, because without them, this would not happen. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next season at Daytona. Stay safe and take care.